Hi.
Hey, I'm Dr. Talisha Berry, publisher of Courageous Woman magazine, an inspirational publication that highlights extraordinary women in business and entertainment. Just a few years ago, in 2020, we decided to include men, and we started with the publication Courageous Men. And it has been a tremendous blessing to include the men. It was years that men would say, "What do you have for us?" And we had Courageous Men of the Month. And so we decided to go ahead and create a full publication. And from that, we decided to do this book, The Heart of a Black Man. I have published numerous books and anthologies with women. And so this is our very first book anthology with men. And I'm super excited and so proud of the 30 men that we have in this book. And so tonight we're just talking. This is our launch. This is our 4-day courageous men, winning men weekend. So we are talking tonight with some of the women of those men. So I want to introduce some of the ladies who are wives of two of the authors in the book. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having
We are super excited. This is the launch of the book, The Heart of the Black Man. So tonight we want to just talk with the wives because it has been a journey putting this together. And I know some of the wives have been very, very instrumental at helping the men get their things together, write their stories. So I wanted to hear some of those stories, their stories of helping their men get prepared for the book. So, ladies, I want you to introduce yourselves. April, we'll start with you.
Hi, my name is Aprila Muhammad. I am the wife, the queen of Malik Muhammad. And we are the owners of Malik Books in the Baldwin Hills Mall and the Culver City Mall.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Hi, I am Latanya Gilliard, wife of Carl Gilliard, and we own the Gilliard Media Productions and Media Group, and we are here in Atlanta. We have an acting class. We are content creators and film and television producers.
Awesome, awesome. So, ladies, what did you think when your husband says, "Oh, I'm going to write a story and be a part of a book"? What do you think, April?
I thought it was about time. It's about time that he be an author, a co-author of something, because I feel he truly have a beautiful story to tell. And his story, it may be relatable for most, but I know it's relatable to some.
Okay. So tell us about the experience or the journey, the writing part of it. How was that, and how?
Well, as you know, you was calling me like, get on your husband. You know, it's a whole journey. I feel like it's a whole journey, especially when we're asking our men to be vulnerable. Vulnerable not only to us, but now he's going to be vulnerable to the world. So it was a task to just keep pushing and not be so pushy, but push with love, because this is a story that needs to be told. So it was a journey not only for him but for me too.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, Latanya, how was it for you when Carl said, "I'm going to write a story"? What did you think?
Okay, well, you have to know my husband. My husband has an online and social media presence called Twice Married Brother. So if you went on Facebook or um, Instagram or Twitter, anything out there, and you find Twice Married Brother, this writing is no stranger to him. So I didn't really have too much to do when it came to him doing this. And he did it all. And that's his wheelhouse. He's a mentor. He brings men together all the time, and they talk, they go to breakfast, um, and they do so many different, he's a leader. And this was not a big stretch for him. He enjoyed doing it.
Awesome, awesome. So you two both are in media, and you both are. I've seen you. You've been in a magazine before, and we're talking about relationships.
Uh-huh.
So, talk about when supporting your husband, how women should actually go out and support your husband when he came to you and said this, what did you feel that you needed to do, or did you do anything in regards to supporting him? Now we're doing our bestseller. What was some of the things that you said, I gotta go ahead and support him with this part?
Well, I support her with everything. My husband is, like I said, he's like I don't have to like push and prod him when it comes to this type of stuff. I have to push and prod him when it comes to eating good and eating clean, staying healthy, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, when it comes to speaking and when it comes to sharing his heart and being vulnerable, that is a part of what he does. So I'm always here to support, just like he supports me. But um, whenever he needs to maybe grab a thought, maybe pull a thought together, he may ask me. But he pretty much had this all on his own. Like I said, he was preparing to write a book on his own anyway, memoirs and things like that. So I guess when you asked him to do this, it was just, he was like ready to do it, and he was just like, okay, let me do this. It's another way. It's another platform to share himself. So that's the way he went about it, and it just flowed.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you for your support, and thank you for being here.
Well,
Afro,
Yeah.
you all work together. How
Yes,
is that? You are, you work together. You own a business too. You actually have a bookstore that
yeah.
I absolutely love. Tell us about that. How
Well,
that came
we
about?
work together, we play together. Everything we do is basically together. And we've been doing it for almost 18 years. And I don't think it would be, if anything would change, it would be devastating because this is what we know. Sometimes it get hard because the lines get blurred. At home is at home and the business is business. But over these years we found a way to make it happen. Communication is key. I know it sounds cliche, but it's actually true.
it
um,
is.
the way to communicate, you communicate at work one way, but when you get home you expecting another person, and it's a hard thing to do, to shut it off, to shut that work life off versus the courting situation at home. It's a hard thing to do, but I believe that is well worth it, because we are, as a unit, is a winning team, because we have two businesses that are flourishing here in California, and we just launched a bookmobile. So it's a beautiful thing when you have husband and wife teamship, partnership. It's a beautiful thing, and I know that it's a beautiful thing for me, and I seen it flourish with my husband as being a partner, because he's the type of person that's always go go go. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this, and I seen that he need partnership, and that's what I offer, and I thrive off being his partner. I thrive off of it. I love the way that it makes him shine, for him to have a partner behind him that wants him to win in every fashion.
That's awesome. And so one of the questions is, what is your advice to other women who have black men? What is your advice to help them to better support? What should we do as a whole as black women to better support
Oh, that's,
black
that's a good one. My advice would just be patient, because when our words hit their ears, it's not what they hear. Our intentions are for them to go forward, but sometimes our words may be a mother, like push push push, but it's not that. Just be patient and be kind with your words when you are asking or trying to lead them to do something better. Just be kind and watch your words.
men? Awesome.
Yeah,
Now,
I did all that, and also black men are, well, I know as women, when we're, if you're talking about a partnership, a marriage is one thing, um, and if you're just partnered with somebody, and not in that type of a commitment, that's a whole other story. But there's still support that you have to give either way. But when you are in a committed relationship, and hopefully you went into it wisely. um, you have to know what this man is, what he's doing, what his heart is, and you have to connect to the heart of that man and everything that he's wants to accomplish. You know, as women, we have to be able to hear the things that he's not saying and see the things that he's not seeing. And wherever we could fit in, wherever we could play a role, you know, that he needs and he doesn't even know he needs it, we definitely need to step up and do that.
That's why I tell my husband all the time. I say, you don't know, this is a skill I have. It's
Yes.
a skill. It's a skill that it's learned behavior, because sometimes you want to say things, but you can't. You can't take those, because what we say sometimes they don't hear it. What we're saying, they think it's
We hear different, they hear
most
differently than we hear
definitely,
differently.
most
Yeah.
definitely. So you have to be skillful. You have to be skillful. It's a
Yeah.
skill. It's a skill for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Now, both of you are mothers, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I know for me, sometimes, just being a mom of Black children, especially a son, what things have you had to do as a mom, or, extra things that we as Black moms have to do for our sons to make sure that they are educated about, life and surroundings, and
Oh, yeah.
what things have you had to talk to your son about, or experience with him?
Oh, I repeat everything. I make I repeat information to my son, because I have a special needs son, and I repeat and repeat and repeat just for him to not make mistakes that might not look like a mistake to others, but just riding his bike to school could be a mistake. You just never know. And the way he communicate, someone else doesn't know. My son can look at me and I can hear everything he's saying without him saying a word. But to the world, it might be defiant, or he's not paying attention. And I just repeat, because I do have a Black man. I'm raising a Black man. I'm not raising boy. I'm raising a Black man that have to be aware of his surroundings. So I just repeat and have him be observant, put his head on a swivel, make sure he's observant of his surroundings.
Yeah. Well, I had to do that, but my son, I don't have any babies. My son is 28 years old. Um, so, and he lives in New York. So I'd have to go all the way back, I guess, to when he was in high school and, elementary and stuff. When you have a child that's creative and in the arts, um, you have to encourage them artistically to be who they are, and not be ashamed of who they are, and just um, commit yourself to what you want to do. Because people will always try to tell you what they think you are and what they think you should do. And a lot of times, young men, well, young ladies too, but young men, they get into trouble when they try to conform to what other people in school are doing, you
Mhm.
know, and what they, think they should follow. Um, but thank goodness I didn't have to deal with like gangs and things like that. But I'm from the South. I'm from North Carolina. And
Mhm.
I taught my son a long time ago. It's like, if there is nothing, if I'm always there to support you and back you up, but use your common sense and do things. If it's something that you think, I would be like, oh, my mom's not going to go for that. Yeah, you're right. Just don't do it.
That's funny that you say that, because I was just talking to my children in the car, and I was
Mhm.
telling them about situations when I was younger.
Yeah.
And that peer pressure is real, and
Yeah.
I'm still a strong person, and I thought I was a strong person back then, but the story I was telling my kids was like a dodo story. Like, I really did that, even though even though I was taught better, even though that I knew that what I was doing wasn't right, I still end up doing it. And I tell my kids like that, you're gonna have those life experiences. Don't beat yourself up. Remember, mommy's in your ear. Let that experience happen, but hopefully that experience doesn't land you somewhere that you permanently can't change.
Right.
You know, us
Hmm.
as parents, we do our best with what we have, the tools that we have. We still
Right.
still have to put tools in our toolbox as parents today. But I tell my kids all the time, it's okay. Make that mistake, but remember, that mistake can be a lifelong mistake that you cannot correct.
Yeah, that's true. And I never tried to tell my kids, um, you know, I'm trying to keep you from making the same mistakes I did because it was a different time. I mean, I came up in an era where I could leave my bicycle outside and it's there the next morning.
Okay,
You
yeah.
know,
Out
we
here
could
in California.
we could fall asleep and leave, the door shut but unlocked and have no worries. Can't do that anymore.
No.
You cannot. And so I'm just like, the mistakes I made, you're gonna make a whole different kind of
Yes,
mistakes. So, you know, be wise, learn your lessons well, because as long as you breathe and live, you're gonna be learning stuff.
most definitely.
Yep, learn your lessons well.
Mhm.
That was a great question,
Awesome,
Talisha.
awesome. I know for myself, for myself, because we deal with things differently as mothers and as African American mothers.
Yeah.
I am a mother of four, so and I have a son. My oldest is a son, and so I'm always very concerned. If I hear a siren outside, sometimes like
Oh,
you know
yes,
on alert because of what is happening in our community. So and even have very a lot of talks with my son about life and living and just being a black man. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation. That's why I even wanted to do this book. I wanted to hear the hearts of men and what they're dealing with. My son says sometimes he likes to take walks, but during the time when the George Floyd
oh,
murder, I didn't want my son to take a walk.
mhm,
I, I live in the, it's not a predominantly Asian community, and very nice community, but we're pretty much the only black over here. So
yeah,
I had some concerns naturally. And so when he's like, okay, mom, I'm going to walk, it's like it's a normal thing for him. But during that time, everybody's on alert. And I'm like, no, I'll walk with you. And so we got an opportunity to have conversation at that time. And he told me just how he felt just walking in his own neighborhood just to take a breather, and how he had to be alert as a man and wave and hi, and
mhm,
to make sure that he made people comfortable as he just walked in where he lived, like so they wouldn't feel so threatened because he is an African American. So is there some of the things that you've had to talk with your kids about, just being an African American? I tell my kids, my daughter, we going in the store and she's, now they don't give bags,
yeah,
and so like she's walking, I'm like, just ask for a bag because they're gonna think you're stealing something,
yeah,
stuff like that, little things like that. I'm always very conscious about, what I have experienced for myself, and to make sure that, everything is good with the kids, always talking about it. Is there some of the things that you've had to deal with as being a mom of African American children, things you had to, constantly focus on?
I just tell my kids just to be conscious of their surroundings. I tell my son, actually, who I was talking about, he's 17 and he's going to be driving soon. Well, he's already driving, but I'm afraid to let him drive alone because I'm afraid, and fear is not a good thing. Fear is always a stop sign, and I read that into my children. No fear, but then look at me being fearful. And I have to I don't like the word let go, but I do have to cut the umbilical cord a little bit
Yeah.
just for them to see, like, hey, you can do this, you got this, you can do this. So just fear, I don't want my children to have any type of fear. Be conscious minded, yes, but fear no.
Yeah.
Fear no.
Yeah, you're right. You can't live that way. Because it'll stop you from doing way too many
Oh,
things that you really should be doing.
Yeah.
Um, but it's real. I mean, it's that struggle is real when you come to I don't Well, when it comes to my daughter, I mean, I know you're talking about men, but my son, like I said, my son has been living in New York for a long time. And that's a whole nother level of awareness of
Yeah,
watching your surroundings of, it's not a right to walk state, so you can't just cross the street like people do in California and think you're not going to hit them. In New York, you have to watch everything. You have to watch your back, your front, your sides, the sky, everything.
absolutely.
Yeah, and being away from him, while he was living there and going to school and everything, it's just like it's different when you're far away from your kids, and you just have to depend and trust, and everything that you put in them,
Hmm.
they have it. They have it. They heard you, and they're doing it, and been very blessed so far. I mean, they're doing well. My daughter still lives in LA, and we moved out of LA to uh, Georgia, into the Atlanta area. And my daughter is still there, and I think of different things that she will have to deal with. Um, but when you teach your kids, like the kids, your age now, your young ones, and you kind of want them to be well rounded, so that they know how to act
Hmm.
around any race, anybody, to have their self respect, but
Mhm.
also respect others,
Hmm.
and walk in such a way that when you walk into the room, you know, you command people's respect without even opening your mouth. And that is the way I taught my kids to behave and to walk, and just fear no one. Don't fear anybody. It's like some people who want to be big and bad and stuff, it's like they can smell fear.
Oh yes.
They can smell it. But when you walk in confidence, you're not paying them any attention. Till it's like almost you're invisible to them. So yeah, no intimidation, um, and just be confident in who
Yeah.
you are. So you got to know who you are.
Mhm. All
Wow.
right. Well, I thank you, ladies. We're here talking about supporting men, supporting Black men, particularly the men who are part of the Heart of a Black Man. This is our launch this weekend. If you will go to Amazon and grab your copy of The Heart of a Black Man, it is now available. There are 30 amazing men. Tonight we're going to do a replay of the show from last night. So if you missed it, you'll get a chance to see it tonight. And tomorrow there will be another group of men tomorrow that will be interviewed here tomorrow night. It has been a phenomenal time just listening to. Last night was just absolutely amazing. Listening to the men speak, listening to their hearts. That is what this is about. The heart of a Black man. So we're talking. These are two of the wives of the men who are featured in the book. We thought it was good to just talk to them and talk to them about being a mom, being a wife of a Black man. So we wanted to just be here tonight before the replay, and tomorrow. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow night you'll get a chance to hear the men speak, and also on Sunday night. So we'll be right back, and we'll be talking with the uh, doing the replay in just a moment. So thank you, ladies, for being here.
Thank
You're
you for having us.
welcome. It
Thank you
was our
so much.
pleasure.
Thank
Tanya. We're looking forward to seeing you guys soon. For the when we're gonna do the book signing, Talisha.
I don't know. We just talked to Malik the other day to do the LA book signing. We got a couple
Okay.
other there, but we talked to him the other day about the LA book signing.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
Excited.
thank you. It's been our pleasure.
Make sure you all go to Malik Books.
Yes, Malik Books or MalikBooks.com.
I love Malik Bookstore.
That's wonderful. And you can look for Carl Gilliard at 2 Degrees. And our show is called 2 Degrees, and it's about him. And We were also consultant producers on the Mahalia Jackson story, which is on Hulu. It's called
Yes,
Remember.
I love that. I love that movie. Absolutely. I was there, the premiere.
Yeah.
Actually, Erica, the writer of that, is on the cover. She did a cover last year of Courageous Woman. So I
Yes.
absolutely
Yes. We
love
were so happy to be a part of that. And we had a
that.
little small role in there too. We were
You
Mahalia
did fantastic. Let me just say that. That
Jackson.
was the bomb. So if you have not saw the movie, where is it playing right
It's
now?
on Hulu. You can see it on
Hulu.
Hulu. It's called Remember Me, the Mahalia Jackson story.
It
Okay.
is a phenomenal movie. So
Oh,
make
watch
sure
it. Watch it.
go ahead and watch that movie.
Yes.
It is amazing. Columbus Short is in there. A lot of amazing people.
Yeah, Lettucey. Lettucey played Mahalia.
Lettucey was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes, that was one of my favorite movies last year.
Good.
I
Yay.
was there, and you said it was a small role. She did fantastic. Okay, okay.
Look,
She played that role, and Carl did too. Yes,
yeah.
it
We
was
just, you know, kudos to Erica Nicole Malone, my
yes,
sister. That
yes,
is a beautiful piece of work. All
yes.
came from her. Yeah.
It is. It is. Yes. Wendy Raquel Robinson. Yes. It was
Yeah.
phenomenal, star-studded cast. It's an excellent movie. So please
Thank
go
you.
to Hulu and watch that movie. All right. All right. Thank you, ladies.
You're welcome. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Those were two of the amazing wives of two of the authors of The Heart of a Black Man, Malik Muhammad and Carl Gilliard. So tomorrow, make sure that you tune in tomorrow night to see at least 10 or 12 of the authors will be here speaking tomorrow night and then Sunday. So we have a full week. So we want to just come in tonight and talk to some of the wives about their experiences as being a wife of these authors and what they may have contributed to their stories. And so tune in. We're going to be back shortly with a replay of tomorrow. I'm sorry, the replay of yesterday.